Welcome to The Buzz from channelbuzz.ca. I'm Robert Dutt. Today is Tuesday, May 12, 2026, and here's what's happening in the channel today. Top-Down Ventures has announced the final close of its Founders Fund 1, pulling in 38 million Canadian dollars and oversubscribing its original target. According to the firm, this is the first institutional fund focused exclusively on early-stage software and artificial intelligence for the managed service provider ecosystem, which it values as a roughly $1 trillion global IT services category. The fund is backed by a limited partner base of more than 100 MSP operators, including distribution giant Pax8. Top-Down noted that closing the fund in the current economic environment was a challenge, but the oversubscription signals clear institutional interest in the MSP software space. The firm also pointed to its first exit as a proof point. Zofik, an agentic AI platform for MSP service desks, was acquired by ConnectWise just 6 months after Top-Down's initial investment, returning 5.3 times the invested capital. Having dedicated institutional capital purpose-built for the ecosystem means the next generation of MSP tooling gets funded by people who actually understand the problem. For solution providers thinking about where the platform wars are heading over the next 5 years, this fund is part of the story. New data released yesterday by Fortinet paints a stark picture of Canada's position in the global threat landscape. According to the company's 2026 Global Threat Landscape Report and its companion 2026 Cybersecurity Skills Gap Report, Canada has moved from third to second globally in ransomware attacks, with 374 Canadian organizations extorted last year. Total cyber attacks against Canadian targets surged to $17 billion in 2025, up from $13.7 billion the year before. Fortinet's FortiGuard Labs says the time to exploit for critical vulnerabilities is now running 2 to 4 times faster than it was, driven by threat actors deploying agentic AI to accelerate reconnaissance and execution. The skills picture compounds the problem. 47% of Canadian IT leaders cited a lack of cybersecurity talent as a top cause of breaches, and 49% say they struggle to hire staff with specific AI security experience. That combination, faster attacks, a shrinking talent pool, is exactly the kind of environment where a strong MSP security practice becomes a business necessity for SMB clients, not a nice-to-have. Derek Mankey, Chief Security Strategist and Global Vice President of Threat Intelligence at FortiGuard Labs, called it an industrialized defense challenge. New research from Barracu released this morning adds another dimension to the threat picture. Based on an analysis of 3.1 billion emails, the company's 2026 email threat report finds that 1 in 3 emails is now malicious or unwanted spam. According to Barracu, 48% of malicious email activity is phishing, 34% of organizations experience account takeover at least once per month, and 90% of high-volume phishing campaigns now use phishing-as-a-service kits. Perhaps most notable for the managed services conversation, 70% of malicious PDFs now hide phishing links inside QR codes, a tactic specifically designed to bypass traditional email filters. Barracu positions the core finding as a shift in attacker strategy, away from noisy malware and towards stealthier, trust-based techniques that use compromised accounts and familiar file formats to slip past defenses. The report identifies growing demand for layered email and identity protection, combined with automated response, which points directly to an opportunity for service providers helping customers with lean IT teams who are already stretched managing alert volume. In brief, Calian Group has completed its acquisition of U.S. managed service provider Computex, expanding the Ottawa-based firm's American footprint and cybersecurity capabilities. Canadian cybersecurity startup Krogel has begun a private rollout of its AI-powered SOC platform, positioning it to help service providers automate threat response and cut alert fatigue. Pax8 and NinjaOne have announced a partnership, starting as a referral motion, giving MSPs a path to RMM and unified IT operations tools, while the companies work towards a future marketplace integration. TD SYNNEX has given MSPs reserved access to NVIDIA GPU capacity through a deal with Nebius AI Cloud, letting channel partners deliver AI infrastructure services without buying the hardware or competing with hyperscalers for GPU supply. Full details and links in the show notes or the blog post. Later today on In the Channel, I sit down with Joel Abramson, managing partner at Top-Down Ventures, to go deeper on the Founders Fund close, the LP flywheel strategy, the Zofik exit, and what it means for companies building the next generation of MSP software. And if you missed it yesterday, check out my conversation with Stephen Kiss, partner and National Now Service Practice Leader at EY Canada, on what building Canada's first ServiceNow Elite partner teaches you about what is coming next in the agentic enterprise. That's how we're seeing the headlines today. I'm Robert Dutt for channelbuzz.ca. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.